Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Blonde Critic, and this is a new series. And yeah, we're gonna get into some conversations. But the first thing I do want to do is I want to give a review of Madonna's Confessions Dance Floor 2 album. I do want to do that now, and the reason why I want to do that is because I owe it to this channel because my first ever video on the Blonde Critic series was a Madonna video 7 years ago when Madam X was released. And if you have not seen that video, this is the link right here to it. It was so much fun doing that video. I had so much fun. I was drunk that morning. Actually, it was that night. I was drunk that night, and the music was. I was feeling every song on that album. Woke up the next day, and my video was viral. And I went from like 65 subscribers to like 600, and it just was growing and growing. And then obviously it stopped because I just didn't keep going. I wasn't consistent. But I try to be consistent, but consistency is not in my DNA, apparently. So that's what happened with that. So I said it would only be right if I come back and do a Madonna Confessions on the Dance Floor 2 reaction and review. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Want to hear it? Here go. Let's get into it. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Blonde Critic, and I am the Blonde Critic, and I am back with a new video on this new series. This is not the same series as before. It is a little bit different, as you could tell from the backdrop and everything. Everything's different, but and I'm back. Yes, I'm excited. I'm in a new life, new territory, new energy, new vibe. Yeah, I've changed since 7 years ago. That was 7 years ago. I did the Madam X review, so a lot has happened in 7 years. So anyway, let's get into it without any further ado. So my relationship with Madonna started with really, like, personally, like a prayer. So when the Like a Prayer album came out, that was one of the albums I bought. I listened to Old Father a million times, Tell Death Do Us Part. And mind you, these are songs that did not make singles. So this is just album cuts. And I loved Act of Contrition. I loved the whole vibe of the Like a Prayer album. Express Yourself, of course. And what's the other one? Like a Prayer. Yeah. So the ones that were released. So I loved the album, and that was the one that I actually purchased. It was the cassette. Back when cassettes was available to purchase, and I was old enough to save up some money and buy the cassette. But and then the MTV era with Madonna playing all in the background with her videos and her old catalog, Material Girl and Borderline and just all that Madonna juice, and I fell in love with Madonna from that time. I was like, I love her. She taught me about LGBTQI plus. She did. My mother and father didn't. She did. Madonna was the first. Like when Justify My Love came out, I was. Oh, you can kiss a boy. You can kiss a girl. Oh, this is. Woo. So anyway, and again, she's one of my faves, but she's like the Prince. Like for me, Prince is one of my faves as well. But some of the artists, unlike a Michael Jackson or Janet Jackson, which are my favorites as well, I got every album they own. Every album that they made, I own it. And regardless if it was a good album or not, which I always thought Michael and Janet made great music. The only album which I ended up getting was Blood on the Dance Floor. Remember that one? I didn't even like that one too much, but I ended up getting it. You know what I mean? Because it was Michael Jackson. I was like, I have every album from Michael Jackson. Why not get this one? So I got every Michael, every Janet, but Madonna, I kind of fell off after, I forgot the name of the album before, American Life. But I think American Life, I didn't really like that one. I wasn't into it as much, so I didn't feel like getting it. But Everything else, Ray of Light, Confessions on the Dance Floor, Madam X, like I just been on a roll with this woman ever since. You know what I mean? And even prior to that. So anyway, when I heard Confessions on the Dance Floor was part two was coming out, I was kind of nervous because I was like, okay, I saw Madonna a couple years ago in concert. She killed it. I enjoyed the concert. She was full of just life, energy. She gave us the hits. She gave us the new stuff. And it just showed me that Madonna really is that bitch. Like, whether I think at that time she was in her 60s, like early 60s. And she still had it. She still had the vibe. She still had the funk in her. And I was like, wow. I left the concert like, wow, she is really one of the greatest. And this is why I love her. You know what I mean? Like, I came out like, this is why I love her. And I loved every aspect of the show from beginning to end. And like I said, knowing that Confessions on the Dance Floor was one of her greatest albums that she's ever made, I listened to it over and over again. Get It Together. Not Get It Together. Get Together was one of the songs that I played over and over and over again. Hung Up and Sorry and just, I mean, the album was fun. It was energetic. So Confessions on the Dance Floor 2 comes, and I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, oh God, what is she going to try to top this? Is it a part two, really a part two? Or is it trying to, like, I get nervous when Mary J. Blige did My Life 2, I got nervous because I was like, you can't touch My Life. The original is like, part one was like the original. You don't go back to part two. You don't make a part two of anything that's like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's iconic. You don't do it. And the same with Madonna. When Confessions 2 was like, no. Don't touch it. If anything, name it a whole nother album and make it a whole nother dance vibe. And when I heard Feel So Free, I said, okay. And then Love Sensation and, the other song, Bring Your Love, like all these songs that she was releasing as like kind of like throwing out there like, hey, I'm coming back. And I was like, oh, I like this rollout. I'm loving the rollout. And there was no video to even come with it. And then all of a sudden the Times Square performance came and I was like, wow. And I thought she did a great job, although I was nervous with her moving. Anything Madonna does lately moving, I get nervous. But I was a little nervous about that, but I love the idea that she did the whole thing in Times Square, New York City, where it started for her and me, So I was really excited for her to go back home to do that. And that was iconic, and doing the songs on the album and just really being fun, energetic, and just being in the moment. So I started liking the rollout. I liked the fact that she went to the Abbey in LA and party with the gays and did all that. And I was like, okay, I see what you're doing, Madonna. Madonna's really like, she's enjoying herself. And that's what I love to see Madonna do. Enjoy herself. You know what I mean? And it was like, you could tell there was no pressure on this album. It was just her doing a new album that felt good, felt right, and felt on time for her, in her time, in her decade of being 40 plus in this game, 40 years plus in this game. So it made a lot of sense to do what she did. And the rollout, like I said, was genius. She didn't just throw out an album unlike somebody else we know, and I love her down, but it was kind of like for a single music video and then the album, boom. And it's like, okay, we didn't even hear a second, third, fourth. There was no rollout. No social media campaign, no club appearance, like it was nothing. And then that album flopped for that particular artist at the time, and I felt kind of bad. Sorry, but that's what happened. But Madonna, she didn't do it that way. She did it the way she wanted to do it. She went back to the gays, back to the clubs, back to New York, and she started where she left off where she started, I guess you could say. And it just felt good. It felt organic. It didn't feel like she was trying. It didn't feel like Madonna was trying to keep up with the times. It didn't feel like Madonna was lost. It felt like Madonna knew what she wanted to do, and this is what she wanted to do. So it felt good. The music felt good, the energy. So now the album comes out. I listened from beginning to end, and I tell you no lie, I was in a trance, in a live trance. Like I couldn't believe. I was like, wow, what did she do in this on this album? Because every track was good. I mean, from the beginning to the second, third, fourth. I mean, the whole album. I love School. School is in session. Dun, 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 dun. I was like, Love Without Words, Call It House. I was just like, it just made you want to go out. It made you want to get drunk. It made you want to have a smoke. You know what I mean? It made you want to really just live life and forget about the things that we're plagued with every day. It made me, it literally made me forget I was in this world. Like I was literally taken up and lifted in the rapture of dance music. And I love that feeling. And it was just so organic and it was so right. It was so on time. Shout out to Madonna for that, because that was what we needed. Her fans got it. I didn't hear anything negative, but I did hear something regarding her age in the beginning, like, oh, Madonna needs to be age appropriate dancing or something or whatever, or dressing. And I'm like, look, Madonna has always been that bitch that don't give a fuck what you think. And I want to be like that when I'm 65. I want to not care what people think. You know what I mean? She's not a grandmother. You don't expect her to act like a grandmother because she's really not one. There you go. And even if she was a grandmother, she has every right to still look sexy, still be happy. If you have it, live in it. If you look good doing it, bitch, continue to do it. That's how I live. Like, you know what I mean? So she did her thing, and like I said, the video concept was good. Danceteria was good. That whole Confessions, the film that she did was, I mean, come on. When that was coming out, I was excited because, I'm back in the day. I love visuals. That's what we live for. We couldn't wait to see a Michael, Janet, Madonna visual on television. It was on MTV, like world premiere video coming out Tuesday night, and everybody's waiting behind the TV, waiting for that video and to see what they look like and what they were going to do. And I love how she brought back some of the old Confessions on the dance floor one's outfits, I believe it was, and she just looks so damn good. You know what I mean? And you got to give it to the Queen of Pop. Like she delivered, and I hope other artists take notes. Not to do it like her, but to do it their way. But do it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I would like for the rest of the girls to do, or the other girls to do. And you know who I'm talking about. But so that's it. I'm happy for her, and I feel like she really put her everything in this project. And even if this is her last album, I'm satisfied. If this is her last tour, I'm satisfied. Although I don't want Madonna to do another world tour. I want her to go to Vegas and we come to her and give us a Vegas experience like no other. That's what I want Madonna to do, because I don't want her to be traveling. She's at the age where it's like, bitch, you don't need to go nowhere on no airplane, girl. Step right there, girl. We're coming to you. You know what I mean? I'm happy that Madonna's back and she's doing her thing. And I heard a lot of talk about album of the year, and this is her greatest album of the year. I will say we're in August. I haven't heard anything else that makes me feel like there should be a contender with her, right? A competitor with her. I don't see that at the moment, unless I'm kind of like, I'm sleeping on somebody. Like, if I'm sleeping on somebody, let me know in the comments who else can be her competitor for the album of the year. But so far, this is a great album. Again, chart-wise, I don't expect Madonna to have a number one single again. Like, that's just the way this music industry works, the way the politics works. Unfortunately, they'll throw her on the number one dance charts. They might even throw her on the bubbling under bitch, but they won't put her on the Hot 100, unfortunately, although she deserves it. You know what I mean? But she did get a number one album out of it. That's what they'll give it doesn't matter how old you are to get a number one album. But single-wise, they could have gave it to her for something. Even this Love Sensation song with her and Kylie now as a remix is really, really good. And I don't know why that's not even the top 5 single. But if it was back in the day, it probably would have been a number one single. But today, obviously, unfortunately, the industry just ain't with it. Great album, great rollout, great videos. Danceteria should be the next single. A Vegas residency should be the next announcement. And I think Madonna should retire after this album. And I mean that with love and respect, because she's done 40 years of great music. Albums are amazing. You don't get better than this right now. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, what else could Madonna do? You know what I mean? What you would think. You know, I'm sure there's more for her to do if she had it her way. But as a fan, I'm good. I'm gonna be like, my girl, she retired at 65, bitch, 66, 68. Well, actually, she's 68, right? 67, 68. Yeah, but you know what I mean? She retired almost 70. So what do you guys think about the new Madonna album? Leave it in the comments. Let me know. We'll talk about it, be about it, because it's been a minute since I've done a Madonna review. Like I said, Madam X was the beginning of this channel, and I've wrestled back and forth. With this, like, should I do a review? Should I not? And I was gonna do one like how I did with the first one, and then I said no, I want to do it a different way. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me just fucking sit down and do this video. I owe you guys at least one Madonna. Another Madonna review. So yeah, so that's it for right now. I think, we giving this album 2 thumbs up. It is an excellent album, excellent from front to end, in my opinion. And I groove, and I continue to groove to it, bitch. So let me know what you all think in the comments, and we'll talk about it, be about it. And also, if you like this video, like it, subscribe to it. And let's talk in the comments, because it's been a minute. And let me know if I should continue to do these series or not. I don't think I'm going to do the Blonde Critic the way I used to do it. So I think it's kind of like a revamping now, where I'm just going to be talking, but still critiquing in my own way and not in a character way. But we'll figure it out. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.